Hey Willowbrook, good morning. It's Justin here. We are in 1 John chapter 5 as we continue the New Testament challenge. And today's Black Friday. Be careful out there if you're shopping. It's a little safer online at home on your computer, I think. So whatever you're doing today, I hope you do so very safely and do it kindly as you go out with all the other shoppers. Man, I hope Thanksgiving was great for you yesterday as well. We have so much to be grateful for. And today we're wrapping up 1 John with chapter 5 and how we can conquer the world as Christians. And that's the verse I wanted to point out to you this morning. If you look behind me, this is a picture of the Death Star. It's a kind of a blueprint picture because I'm a fan of Star Wars. And I even keep a little C-3PO on my desk at all times. And love that franchise, love the movies and the shows and stuff. But they had to conquer the Death Star because it was bringing destruction on the universe. And it was really crazy how they had to do that. To conquer the Death Star, to conquer the Empire and the enemy, they had to have the manpower, they had to have a team together, they had to have the right weapons, they had to have a well-devised plan, they had to have the element of surprise, they had to have all these things going for them to go and defeat the Death Star and defeat the enemy, to conquer the forces of evil with the forces of good in the movie. And also, it had to work out because then it would have been a terrible story, right? If the bad guy would have won. So the way they conquered the Death Star is not how we conquer the world. In this chapter, we see that John talks about how we can conquer those forces that are out there, the schemes of the enemy, each and every day we face. How can we do that? He says in chapter 5, verse 3, "For this is the love of God." Here's what it is: to keep his commandments. And his commandments are not a burden, because everyone who has been born of God conquers the world. And this is the victory that has conquered the world: our faith. Our faith is what conquers the world. So there's a big emphasis here on the love of God and the love of God we show to one another and how we show it back to him. We obey what he has commanded us. And when you love somebody, to obey the commands from that person, especially when it's God, they're not a burden because we know it's for our benefit and for his glory. So when we see a command, when we hear the voice of God, when he works in our life, it is not burdensome to do what he says, because you know why? We love him. We want to obey him and do what he says because we know that he knows what's best for us. This is the victory that has conquered the world: our faith. We don't need the mental acuity. We don't need supreme intelligence. We don't need church attendance. We don't need a bumper sticker or a Jesus fish t-shirt. Our faith is what we use to overcome the world. And when we're living by faith and not by what we can see with our own physical eyes, we are able to deal with those unseen forces with our faith and by the Spirit, and trusting in God through thick and thin, that, hey, no matter what happens when I walk outside the door, I am a conqueror. The Bible says I'm more than a conqueror because of what Jesus Christ has done for us. And we can live in that faith, by that faith, each and every day. And hey, the enemy can look menacing. The enemy can look dangerous and threatening at times. But we have what we need. We have our faith. We love God. We want to obey him and do what he says. And as we walk by faith, obeying his commands, we find victory each and every day. I pray and I hope that you have found that victory today and this week as we've reflected on so much. In the midst of an insane year, we have still so much to be grateful for. This holiday season, this week, as we just express our gratitude towards one another and especially towards our God. Have you thanked him today? Are you living in faith, knowing that he is making you a conqueror over the world? That's all you need. I hope you find encouragement in that. I know it encouraged me as I read those words. I pray that you have an amazing day, an amazing weekend as we get the holidays kicked off here, and God bless.